Today I'm thinking about spending time on question and answers. Because there are a lot of questions which have come, I thought it'll be good. So, any questions from this people here, or shall I take the questions what I have got? What do you think? You have any questions, or shall I start the questions? Okay, if you this person called Avdesh, he has sent some question. He has just now joined. Avdesh, do you want to say the question, or shall I read out from what you have sent? It is better you say.
Okay, namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Sir, just want to know the relevance of long courses and you can explain jhanas and other things. Let me just read out.
No, you can read out one by one. I think it's better.
Okay, sure.
So first we will start with this samadhi, Khanika, Upachara, and Apanna samadhi. I think that's better. What do you think?
Yes, sure, sir.
So the meaning of Khanika samadhi is momentary samadhi. Samadhi is actually not concentration; it is collectedness. So the mind is collected. It is ready. It is not distracted. So that is what samadhi. In fact, the root meaning of samadhi is sama plus adhi. Sama means equal, adi to stay in equal, equanimous state without having this or that. Okay, that's why it's called samadhi. Then there is upachara samadhi, which is access concentration in English, but it is not concentration again. And then apanna samadhi, which is absorption in English, but apanna is one who has reached. So these are the three concentration or techniques which are mentioned in Visuddhi Magga. Now, what does Buddha say? In Buddha's teaching, there is nothing called as Khanika Samadhi, Upachara Samadhi, Apana Samadhi, and all of that. It is just very simple that if this is there, this happens. If that is not there, that will not happen. So, this very easy thing is that there is a sutta. It is in Anguttara Nikaya. So, if somebody were to go through that 10.1, and then you can see 10.1.1, you can see that if there is breaking of sila, then there is remorse. As long as there is remorse, so long the person cannot have peace, because there will be disturbance. So there's fear. And when there is fear, I will mute for time being of this. There is a lot of background sound coming. So what he says is that if you have, let's say, if I have this fear, and then because of that fear, my piti or pamoj, gladness is not there. Since gladness is not there, there is no joy. If there is no joy, there is no happiness. If there is no happiness, then there is no samadhi. Okay. So hence this way of seeing Khanika, Upachara and Apana Samadhi is not the right way as far as the Buddha teaching goes. But as far as a commentarial way of looking at it, looking at how people are and to help them, it makes sense. That means you have a Khanika, that means like I'm not talking on this. So there's a Khanika Samadhi. Then if I keep that extending it, it becomes Upachara Samadhi. Then it becomes Apana Samadhi. That means I've arrived in Samadhi. Another way to see it, Avdesh, is that for everything there should be a Mula root. So there should be interest, which is Chanda. then if there is chanda, then there is manasikara. If there is no chanda, there is no manasikara. Manasikara means making up the mind. So if you want to have even a Kanika Samadhi, there should be something in the mind to be established. Otherwise, it can't. So if that is there, then contact has to happen. Without contact, Mansikara makes no sense. So this contact should be there. And then comes Vedana Samo Sarana Sabbe Dhamma. So that means then only there is feeling. So you feel that you are in Samadhi. Otherwise, there is no way you can say that I am in Samadhi. Okay. And then when you know you are in Samadhi, it is the Pamukha foremost. And for that foremost to be there as foremost, you should have Sati, mindfulness or awareness. Okay. So this is how it works. So many things on Visuddhi Magga is not right when you look deeper from Sutta. But for a general person who has no idea on the Sutta and he would like to go ahead with something on Buddha Dhamma, all commentaries are good as far as his basic knowledge goes. But if you want to go deep in it, it doesn't work because it's not at all the right way of going. It's a wrong way, but written right way. That's all I can look at it. Okay. And then another thing we need to know is that there's no sutta which aligns with this. And there's nothing called pre-jhana. This is actually pre-jhana. There's no concept of pre-jhana at all in Buddha Dhamma. It's very clear that you need to have 11 of them for the four of things to happen. That means you need to have sila, you have to indriya samvara, then all of that to get into samadhi. There is no way you can just take a cushion and sit on that cushion and imagine that you can get into jhana. It's never going to happen because the conditions itself are not being brought. So we need to understand Patisamutpada in a perfect sense. This being, this comes to be. So if Sila is there, then Samadhi comes to be. Without Sila, there can't be Samadhi. No matter how much the person tries his best or her best, whatever it is, it's not going to happen. Okay. And without Samadhi, there can't be Panya. So it's nothing like I directly go from Sila to Panya, excluding Samadhi. And Samadhi has three aspects: Samatha, Jhana, Vipassana. There is no way a person can say, I will skip Jhana and I will get into Vipassana. It's just not possible. So, what is possible is step by step. What is not possible is skipping the step, because this being, this comes to be. With the arising of this arises. Iti imasmim sati idam hoti, imassa upada idam uppajjati. Iti imasmim asati idam na hoti, imassa nirodha idam nirujjati. What it means is that if samadhi has to be there, it can't go in three stages, saying that first I will establish Khanika Samadhi, then I will come into Upachara Samadhi, then I will come into Apanna Samadhi. That's not possible. And Buddha Gosa also has done one another wrong thing, is that he has split Patisamutpada into three parts, one as past, one as present, one as future. Many of the Burmese traditions put that as a symbol because that is how he had done it. So they put one circle with three parts as though it is something is in the past and something is in the present and something in the future. That cuts the natural law itself of Patisamutpada, because he has only given by the 12 link formula in 12 links rather than the formula itself. The formula is if ida pachayata, it is not the 12 links. Many people misunderstand the 12 links to be Patisamutpada, even though it says yadidam as an illustration, but they take that itself as real. No, ida pachayata is real, not this one. So if you do something like that, you can now create past, present, future. And taking that, Buddha Gosa, what he did is that he made this as Khanika and then he made something as access concentration. That means you are in accessing it, and then you are there, aparna, which makes no sense. Okay, this is the first thing. Yes, of this second question. Hope you got an answer to the first one.
Yes, sir. I got it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So in second question, sir, I want to ask in Jhana, so the person get blank, his senses goes off, or if you can explain that.
There are two ways of making it. One is what Goenkaji technique is, or the Ubakin technique, or the lady side or technique is. Let me explain to you on the lady side or technique, which is split into two parts, one for the monks and one for the lay followers. And the lay follower thing is what Ubakin and Goenkaji is all about. So it goes like this. If have you done any retreat of Goenkaji?
Yes, I did.
You did. How many?
I did the 20-day course.
20 days course. Okay, good. So now if you see on the day 1 to 3, you have the watching the breath at the nostril. So basically what it does here is that before you come there, you are secluding the 10 immoral deeds. Out of that, 9 immoral deeds will go away, and maybe one of that is michaditi is going to stay. And two is that the hindrances are suppressed, they are not removed. So kamachanda is there, but in that place there's no kamachanda, there's no place for kamachanda. Number two is the Vyapada. There is no place for Vyapada because you will be really feeling good about the volunteers who are serving and do all of that. The only thing you might suffer is Thina Mida, and the fourth one is restlessness. Some people feel restless, or some people feel remorse, and the Visikicha in the first 10 days course, if somebody doesn't know what it is, might have doubts, but when he goes to the second 10-day course, he gets adjusted to it, or the third 10-day course, and then the seva, and then the 20 days course, and like that. So basically, if somebody is into that, what happens here is that you get in the first 10 days course, for some people, they get this free flow. So when they get free flow, this in Hindi called Dhara Prabha, what it means is that you feel the energies or the vibrations happening in the entire body. So you feel relieved of sitting there, and it becomes so overwhelming of the body that you feel really energized. So basically, that brings in confidence to you that Goenkaji technique is working, because you might have heard about it or you've not heard about it, but when you get there and when you ask the assistant teacher, it seems like you're on the right path. After that, from the vipassana time, that is the fourth day onwards till the 10th day, you will find the vipassana, that is body scanning. So some people really get into basically the bhanga stage or dissolution stage. And then when the bhanga stage happens, many people don't experience this, but some people really experience this, is that the six sense doors close. So when I mean closing, is that since you're completely absorbed in the body scanning, there is no way the mind can now go behind any other senses. So the eyes are closed, so the ear gets closed, the tongue is already closed, the nose is closed, and you're scanning the body from top of the head to the tip of the toe in every direction. So that becomes the only thing for the body. And since there are no external inputs coming from any other senses, so the mind sense door also closes, meaning there is no activity. So because of that, the six sense doors gets closed. So when the six sense doors get closed, you attain nibbanic experience. So there is no raga dvesha moha at that point in time, because the senses are completely off. Okay, this is what you experience. Have you experienced this, Avdesh?
I'm not sure about it, sir. Can't say
Okay.
it certainly.
Have you experienced free flow of the Dhara Prabha?
Yes.
Have you experienced Bhanga?
That is uncertain, sir. I'm not.
Okay, many people don't experience it, so they don't even know what it really means. So actually your whole body starts vibrating. I mean, you, apart from vibration, you don't find anything solidity at all. Have you experienced that?
I
Oh,
can't say it confidently, sir.
okay,
I'm
no
not.
problem, no problem. If you have not, then don't worry. This six senses closure is beyond that. And in the Burmese tradition, because it follows Visuddhi Magga, in Visuddhi Magga, it is, or the Ledi Sayadaw, when he wrote the manual of how to experience this, how to find it, he made it mandatory that if you're coming to the Burmese kind of experience, then if the six sense doors closes, then you attain Nibbana, then you are a Sotapanna. Otherwise, you're not a Sotapanna. So that's how they treat it. And if you get it second time, you're Anagami, and sorry, Sakadagami. The third time, you're an Anagami, and the fourth time, you're an Arhat. Okay, so this is how they generally treat it. Okay, so now this is what is the six senses. Now, if you come back home, it'll not work because that condition itself is not there. So then you don't know what to do now. Either you have to go back to the retreats constantly, because in house or in home environment you can't create the same conditions. So that's the reason people start going to the retreat or to the longer retreat. So if you ask me a question, should you do a longer retreat? The answer is you can do 1,000-day retreat if it is there, or even a 10,000-day retreat if it is there, or 100,000 or 1 million day retreat if it is there. Buddha Dhamma is not about conditioning, it is about unconditioning. So the moment you start going there, it is you're conditioning it, because you don't know what to do when you come back. Even after 1 millionth a day, you'll exactly have the same problem of whatever you're facing. So what Buddha recommends in the sutta, where we are talking about Sekha Sutta, is to create that condition wherever you are. It doesn't matter whether you are in a retreat or you're at home or wherever you are. So if you do like that, when you come to the before the jhanic starts, you will have the six sense doors closed, and in jhana you will see it, and that leads to vipassana. So it's a totally a different approach as opposed to the Burmese technique or any other techniques which we have. A technique is a technique, but Dhamma is bhavana. So there are two different things. One, they have created a technique. Whoever has created it's very good, but you need to understand it's just a technique. And technique is not Dhamma. And what is Dhamma is that which can last in any situation, in any conditions. So then only you know that you have penetrated into the Dhamma. So that is what the suttas talk about. So there is a difference between how the sutta defines this and how the traditions or the techniques they have brought about, even though they are good, there's a difference. There's a difference between how things work, because it doesn't sustain without being in retreats. So, okay, so this is what the closing of six sense doors is. It will close. Avdesh, are you able to hear?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, sir.
And yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I got the answer, sir. You have covered all those, whatever I asked.
One another thing, in addition to that, is there are two ways of doing it. One way is through the Dhamma, one way is through the Chitta. Okay, that means Panya and Chitta. Now, this way of doing what Lady side or whatever it is with relation to the Chitta. That means you sit in one place and you establish and do something. But there is another way, which is through the Panya route, where you literally penetrate without having to do what is being done. Even in that, the six sense doors closes, but it doesn't close in a sitting posture. It closes when something doesn't happen, meaning when the sun senses are not in touch with sense objects, so it closes through panya. So there are two vimuktis. One is a chito vimukti, one is a panya vimukti. And for most part in the techniques, it is about chito vimukti of sitting and observing breath, and about more about sitting meditation rather than the standing and walking and all that. Mahisi Sayadaw, he started with the walking meditation. There are many people nowadays talk about walking meditation, which is good, but otherwise, you should be doing not meditation, you should be bhavana, in bhavana, instead of meditation. Since we are so used to using the term meditation, it might just mean that you're sitting and contemplating something. In fact, it's the other way around. You're not contemplating anything, you're observing everything and not reacting to it. That's the whole difference between Buddha Dhamma and other things, right? So when we use a Christian word meditation, what it really means is that it from a Greek word, but from wherever it has come, it's about contemplation. It's about trying to see what happens. But here, you're just observing it. You're observing and not reacting, observing, not reacting. You're observing how the mind is behaving and not anything else. So it is mind purity followed by speech purity, followed by the body purity. That is how Buddha Dhamma works. Hope this is clear.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. There was another question is that this is nothing to do with you, Avdesh, but then there are some jhana questions and some other questions. So let me address all of those questions today. 1 second stands in. So let me finish this question. I got a question, very interesting one, saying that I understand what you're saying every day, but I don't understand the practice. Is there any particular practice I need to do? So that gives me um, what I can say, a information that all these days of starting where to start and all that is maybe it's not working, because this question is very clear, very nice, very short, but it talks a lot of things. So let me put on board what we need to do. In fact, Avdesh and myself, we had this talk yesterday. So basically, it'll be better. Let's say I'm talking to any one of you. Okay. If I am not aware of what I'm talking, it can lead to Musavada, Pisunavacha, Parusavacha, Sampapalapa. Clear? So it's not that sila breaking means you just keep on watching. No. If I'm interacting with someone, the sila also follows there, meaning I might break the sila, I might be in sila. Let's take another example. I'm watching some videos, let's say about Iran and Israel and US, or I'm watching Trump talking, or I'm watching our Prime Minister here, Modi, talking, or some cartoons, or some documentary. Let's say I'm doing all of this in 2-3 hours time. Now, when I watch them, if I'm liking Trump, it gets me hooked onto those videos, which is what YouTube is going to do, is to keep on supplying those videos which makes sense to you. Even Instagram or Facebook works the same way. It'll give you feed the data based upon what you like or what you dislike, both of them. So now basically what's happening is, if I keep on watching one video after the other, after the other, after the other, it brings in abhijja. Okay. Excess desire. So I don't have to refer to a sutta to know excess desire. I know for myself the amount of video feeds I'm feeding is abhijja. because I'm not satisfied. Now, I also hate, now I was talking of Desh, is that let's say I'm in India, but I wanted to settle down in US, or I'm in US, I want to settle down in India. Both ways. I don't think so anybody thinks about coming back to India, but for just for the sake of it. Okay. Now, I want to be in US, but I'm in India. And Trump is bringing in so many things to block I going to United States. Do I like it? So Byapada is going to come. So now I'm going to find those videos which will say how I can go to US. Right? And that's the thing. If US is not working, then I want to settle down in Australia. Let's say. So I have two options, either in America or in Australia. Because I don't like staying here. That's the basic thing. So there's Byapada. So now if I see the videos I'm going to search or the information I'm going to search is either to increase abhijja or Byapada. I don't have to literally say, I want to do this 10 immoral deeds. I can see my action is really bringing in immoral deeds. So what do? I watch and I see every being is suffering. Whether it's in America or in Australia or in India, he has to earn for a living. Person sitting in Australia also earn for a living, and I also have to earn for a living. He has to earn for shelter. This person also earn for shelter. I'm also earning for shelter. I also have to earn for clothing. He also earning for clothing. He also earning for clothing. Medicine. These are the four requisites. I keep on doing this. Okay. And when I start looking at it, what do I get? That abhijja reduces, the Byapada reduces. Right? And this is the practice. So when we say don't react, it doesn't mean that just ignore. It it means that you look what is happening and you have to counteract on that. Counteract means like what is mentioned in Satipatthana, that look at how this hindrance is going to come, what brings this hindrance, and what makes it remove the hindrance, and how you can know the hindrance has been completely removed. Because abhijja byapada is there in hindrance, also is there in the 10 immoral deeds. So I have to remove that. So basically, that question, what was asked, is that what is the practice? There is no sitting on the cushion practice here. If you're asking me this, that, tell me what's a practice, how do I sit, and whether I sit and watching the nostril or whatever that is. No, this being moral from the first one till the last one, three by body, four by speech, and three by mind. And that's all I need to do. I don't have to spend time in watching the breath, period. For the entire 3 months period, I don't have to watch a single day sitting on a pillow or on a cushion watching the breath. I might do so just for the sake of it, but there is no need. First, I have to clean the mind of impurities, which is akusala. Without that cleaning of akusala, there is nothing else that can be done. No samadhi is possible. Because this watching breath business is samadhi. It's not sila. Okay. Once I'm done with that, then I need to check two things. Indriya samvara hindrances. Indriya samvara means guarding the sense doors. Now I have to stop symbolizing things and describing things. So I have to stop that. The moment I stop it, it is dependent on the 10 immoral deeds. As long as there are 10 immoral deeds, the symbolization continues. So the moment the 10 immoral deeds pacify, then my symbolization stops. Okay, that's the second step. Even with that, there can be hindrances. So I need to remove the sloth and torpor as a hindrance. What it really means, I want to sit, but I feel we'll sit tomorrow. I'm feeling slightly tired. Like this. So I have to walk, no sitting. Simple. Because just now I had a breakfast. So the moment I sit, I feel like closing eyes. And when I close eyes, there ends the matter. So it is developing it. So you might get two of these five instantaneously. One is Hidamida, which is sloth and torpor, and another one is restlessness. You'll feel restless. Now I'm sitting, I want to stand. If I'm standing, I want to sit, and then keep on shuffling. I want to walk, and I feel walk is sufficient. Let me sit, and that keeps on happening. Or I get remorse. I feel really remorse. I think I should have done this, I should have done that, and half the time will be spent in that. And finally, if everything is working, one bad thing which comes to everyone is doubt. Whether I'm doing correctly, I'm not doing correctly. Am I doing it correctly? I'm not doing correctly. Whether this will lead there or not, lead there or not. Then if that is not the case, and why they have said they do this way, why that teacher says that way, why this happens this way, all that is doubt. You have to throw the doubts. Just try. Just watch what happens. For removing immoral deeds, what doubt should you get? It's just an immoral deed. What is there? First, do that. Second, look at the symbolization and remove the symbolization and see what happens and break each one of them from the weakest to the strongest. That's all you need to do. And then automatically it gets established. So your doubt will go away once it is established. And how do you know it is established? When there is no struggle. Because the struggle is to remove the hindrances, not to watch the breath. And that's the reason couch potato kind of meditation or this cushion kind of meditation is good for startup, but it's not good for long run. It doesn't help. It doesn't make. I'm not saying that you shouldn't sit at all. You should do all the four postures. There's nothing called one posture meditation, and in fact, there's no meditation. There's only bhavana. So that's the second question answer. Yes, Tanzin, go ahead. Sorry to keep you holding.
Yes, sir. This is regarding this awareness, right? When I try to stay aware throughout the day, and at the end of the day, when I reflect, means it's nothing is coming. Means it's I can't really remember the awareness. Means
What are you reflecting?
reflecting means when I try to remember, right?
What you want to remember?
Now try to remember and recall the things which I've done.
Okay, then there is something wrong you're doing. If you ignore, then it won't get registered. Sometimes in the quest of observation, we ignore it.
Okay.
No ignorance. So now I'm talking to you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's recollection. I would have a complete recollection of what did I speak. As an
Mm-hmm.
example, I and Bobby, we had gone to Sunshine Mall. There's a
Okay.
place called as Sunshine Coast, and there is a mall. I'd asked Bobby, you have to remember entire shops. Okay, you are walking, and you should know how the shops are. If you recall, you should be able to see all the shops, including all the details as it is. If by chance that's not happening, there's something
Mm-hmm.
wrong with your technique or with your understanding. Because Sati means memory also. Okay, you remember.
Yeah, I remember, but I need to means force it to go back and
You should go back. It's not that it will just come as it is. No. If you sit, or if you stand, if you walk, if you lie down and recall, you can recall everything from morning till evening or from evening back to morning.
yes, yes. Okay.
See, in Australia, there's a person, Shaniel and I, and he. What we did is that we both started reflecting from today, yesterday, day before yesterday, that day before yesterday, that day before yesterday, like that. And he was able to do it. So whenever he started sitting on a cushion, he started looking at past and past and past and past and past. That helps you to go back to your past existence also. Okay, so you have to practice this bhavana. You have to develop it. It doesn't come, and
Mm.
you will remember fragments of whatever you're doing. So you have to sit, like, I sit, and then I whenever the time I opened up my eyes, it was 2:36 a.m. So from that is today. So from 2:36 a.m. to everything till now, I remember
Okay.
frame by frame. Okay, then from the past, so now if I say I slept at 10:14 p.m. yesterday night, and so if I reflect back, I can reflect each one of the thing till yesterday early morning. In fact, I woke up yesterday at 4:10, and again I slept and I woke up at 5 a.m. So I remember that. And then if I reflect back on the previous day, I can do the previous day. Now, if you ask me do from 1 month before, I can exactly do 1 month before. That was February 19th to March 19th to 20th. So February 19th to March 19th, I can reflect back from 19, 18, 17, 16, like that till that
Okay.
day.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I understood.
Sure. Yeah. Any other questions? Anyone? Now, if no other questions are there, I'll take about questions on jhanas. Okay, these are very interesting questions. So let me explain to you. Number one, what is jhana? Is it required? I'll answer the second question, then the first question. Jhana is required. Simple. Who says so? Every sutta says so. Please refer to the sutta. If you have a misunderstanding that no jhana is required, please reread those suttas, especially MN6. And there is a Silavanta Sutta, which we looked in from Anguttara Nikaya yesterday. Please go and read it again and again and again and again till you cut out from the mind that jhanas are not required. Okay. Now come to the first one. What is a jhana? Now, a jhana, dhyana, zen, chan, these are the four ways which have happened. From Chinese, this is chan, and then Japanese zen, and Sanskrit dhyan, and Pali jhana. Yep, these are four meaning the same. Now let us understand what this meaning is, especially since most of us are Indians here, except for Ariu and I don't know some other people, but otherwise maximum people sitting are Indians. We generally use this word dhyan, especially if person knows Hindi, they say dhyan se karo, do it with dhyan. If I translate that in English, if somebody doesn't know Hindi, even in Kannada, it is there. Even Malayalam will be having, in each Indian language will be having this particular word. What it really means is that don't do it without knowing it. That's what it would mean. Meaning, you should know what you're doing. So when you're walking, they might say, Dhyan se chalo. Okay. Walk by knowing. That's the meaning of dhyan. Now, the Pali word jhana also is the same. There's nothing extraordinary, except that it adds another thing to it. The main word is not about knowing it, it's about burning things. So, there's a particular word called a jhaika, and another word jhai. Jhai means one who has burnt it, and jhaika is one who burns it. So basically, in the Aganya Sutta, if somebody has gone through that sutta, they would know that this person, or the persons who were burning their defilements, were called as jhaikas, and then they stopped doing it and they started writing it. So they lost the name jhaika. So what Buddha did is to bring back jhana. Okay. Now, this is an important aspect, and hence Samma Samadhi means four jhanas. And if somebody says there's no need for jhana, maybe he doesn't want Samma Samadhi. That's what it would mean. So he wants to have 7 out of 8 proper ways, right? Samadhi to Samma Samadhi. Okay. So noble eightfold path, instead of that, person wants noble sevenfold path, because for some reason he is caught up onto this that I shouldn't be doing jhana, which is false. So this clears, I guess, for those people on this call or off this call, or whoever had asked me, I guess that person, if he watches this video, will come to see that jhana is integral part of Buddha Dhamma. Can't escape, can't skip. Okay. Now we come to the jhana itself. What is that I need to do in jhana? Is it breath watching? Or what I should do in jhana? It's a good question, actually. What should you do? So here is the point. If there is no vitakka vichara of worldly things, that is, if the indriya samvara has happened completely, that's the reason he says vivicheva kamehi, that is secluded from sensual. Okay. Now, when the seclusion happens, when your indriya samvara has 100% happened, there's nothing sensual. And then vivichevi akusala dhammehi, the 5 immoral or rather hindrances also goes away. Then what happens? You get into savitakka. What is this? You start debating on the breath, because breath is natural. You don't have to put effort to watch the breath. Presently, we are putting effort in watching the breath. In reality, there is no need to watch the breath. Not for 1 hour. You can watch for 20 hours without a break, except for talking, except for eating, except for drinking. You can. Why? Because that is natural. You don't have to do anything to that. Vichara here represents the length of the breath. What means? Means what? Digamba asasantum asasamiti pajanati, rasamba asasantum asasamiti pajanati. These are the two things you're observing. That when there is an activity, it lengthens. When there is no activity, it shortens. Okay. Another way to check is BPM, beats per minute. If there is activity, the beats per minute increases. If there is no activity, the beats per minute decreases. So if you have a oximeter or some watch, some digital watch, which can show you that, You can see it if you start an activity, either through seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, and thinking, your BPM increases. When it increases, it lengthens. Otherwise, it shortens. Then, Sabbakaya pati samvedi asasisamiti sikkati. Now you learn to observe that it is not just the nostril which is breathing. In fact, the whole body is breathing. A complete is complete body from head to toe. It expands, contracts. It expands, contracts. So you get joy. Piti starts from then. Then the body starts calming down. So pasambhayankaya sankharan asasi samiti sikkati. Pasambhayankaya sankharan pasasi samiti sikkati. This is Pali, but otherwise pasambhaya. Sambhaya means to calm. Pasambhaya is complete calming. What is calming? The breath is calming. Okay, these are the 4 steps of Kayanupassana, and that's exactly what is happening in your Vitakka Vichar. When you do that for the whole day, gladness takes over. Pamoj starts with that. So Buddha says one who doesn't have abhipattikara. Vipattikara means one who is having some regret. So one with sila don't have remorse. Okay. And one without remorse will have gladness. And one with gladness will have pity, joy. Okay, this link. That's why the reason in the beginning I said patisamutpada. If this is there, this is there. If this is not there, this is not there. No matter what you do. So now what happens? I did these 4. Then what next? You will have piti and sukha. It's a natural state of mind, not a something I need to develop. So the second jhana is when you only get piti. There is no vitakka vichara. That means what you were doing as breath watching and length and short and all that is replaced by energetic centers. So eat the breath, you don't have to watch or do anything. The energies take over and they do what they are supposed to be doing. And you don't have any say to it. So you don't have to watch the breath, which you were doing in the first jhana. You're observing that you don't have to observe. In general, the first jhana stays for 1 day or more. In general, you will yourself see it. Because the sensual stays hardly a minute, this state goes for length time. I didn't understand this. Let's say I like one song. And let's say I and Bobby like Boney M song. Let's say we like Brown Girl in the Ring. That song is how many minutes? 3 minutes 29 seconds. And when she starts Brown Girl in the Ring like that, and then it's gone. And 3 minutes 29 seconds gets over. But now I can't again re-listen that Brown Girl in the Ring because it's saturated. Maybe by force I will put another 3 minutes 29 seconds, and then the third time will I listen to it? No. That's what senses can do. Now we leave Brown Girl in the Ring and we'll go to some other thing, some other song, and some other song, and some other song, and some other song, and some other song, like that. That means it is never long lasting. Never. Okay. Whereas this jhana thing is one full day without boredom. That's the difference. You're gladdened all the time in the first jhana, pamocha. You're very glad. You ask, anybody seeing you will know that you're very glad. That's first jhana. So if somebody says, I don't want to be in jhana, I don't know where he wants to be. It looks stupid. Second jhana means what? There is no vitakka vichara. Only piti resides. You are joyous. Gladness transforms into joyous. You're so joy, you can't sit without being joyful. And for that whole day, no matter what you're doing, whether you're walking, you're sitting, you're standing, you're eating, you're sleeping, you're bathing, you're doing whatever you're doing, you're joyous. That doesn't dip. Generally, this lasts for 2 or 3 days before it dips. How do you come to know? You yourself see it. If you sleep today and you wake up next day morning, this joy continues. It continues. Nothing that you did special to make that joy go away, to create it. Whereas in sensual, I need to create it. As an example, let's say somebody is wanting to transfer me 1 million Indian rupees today, which is 10 lakhs. So somebody has called me up saying that, Vilas ji, I want to transfer 10 lakhs. In fact, that 10 lakhs is creating anxiety and waiting for that 10 lakhs to appear. So it is making me feel very uncomfortable because he has still not done so. Don't think somebody is doing it. I'm just giving an example just to make the point. So if he transfers 10 lakh into my account and I get an SMS, rupees 10 lakh deposited to this account, that's it. There ends the matter. There's the joy of receiving that 10 lakhs is hardly minute to the SMS sound. There's joy. Absolutely, there's joy. I feel joy and I feel sukha, that there's a relief from suffering, there's sukha. The suffering was I was waiting for that 10 lakh to be deposited. Now that it is deposited, I feel sukha. But how long? Now the problem comes. For 10 lakhs, I have to pay tax. Now it's in fact made me distressed of receiving 10 lakhs. Okay. Whereas here, there's nothing to be done. Absolutely nothing. So if I say I'm watching the breath in second jhana, it is wrong because there is nothing to be watched. It just stays. What is there to watch? For 20 hours or more, it is joyous. The next day, again joyous. Then the next day, again joyous. And I see on the day 3 that it is dipping away. It dips. I can see it dips. So what Buddha says is right. Even this one is conditioned. It has a natural death cycle. It stays for a long time, then sensual. That's the reason give up sensuality. Agree. But then this takes time. This stays for a long time. So I would love to be in jhanas. What about the second jhana? How about the third jhana? Now, in this third jhana, it is only sukha, happiness. It has crossed the piti. Piti is a barrier, basically. So now I have crossed the barrier, so it's only sukha. There's a body sukha and the mental sukha, both of them. Okay, this will last longer than the piti. Meaning, if somebody wakes me up at 3 a.m. in the morning and says, Vilas, shall we go out and we do this? Ready. and no problem bodily, no feeling tired, nothing. Mentally, not agitated, not excited, but in sukha, in happiness. If we go through that place, there is happiness. If we don't go to that place, there is happiness. If we are eating something, there is happiness. If we are not eating, that same thing is also happiness. So there's nothing to be done to get happiness. Okay? Because it is beyond the senses. There's no sensual stimulation to get sukha. Got it? Like that. Instead of 1 million Indian rupees, somebody said, I'm going to give you 100 million Indian rupees. What do you think? I don't have to think anything. It makes no difference to me because that is sensual. It's absolutely sensual, and I don't like sensual happiness. When I say I don't like, meaning that it doesn't have distaste for me, but I know it is not lasting. Makes no sense. So, don't you want 100 million Indian rupees? It doesn't matter. There's no wanting. If it's there, it's there. Not there, not there. Fine. Doesn't matter. Because sensual. How about a nice woman? How about a nice place to go and see? How about Yosemite National Park? And somebody sponsoring me from Bangalore to go there. I would not compromise my happiness. I would go in the flight, I will be happy in the third jhana and nothing else. So it is not sensually driven. There's nothing sensually appealing, so to say. And the fourth jhana, upek. This is a real test when not only senses stop binding you because it's already gone, even the three jhanas cannot bind you because you are in equanimity, complete equanimity. So it's lasts more than what the three were to happen. And that's all about the first four jhanas. This is mandatory. If we want to grow in Dhamma, equanimity is mandatory. To get into equanimity, you need to have the jhanas. I told yesterday that I'll be covering Anariya Jhana and Ariya Jhanas. That also do it so people are aware what is Anariya and what is Ariya. Because there are a lot of confusions relating to this. What is Ariya and Anariya? Let's understand Anariya first. And before that, let's understand Puttu Jhana. Puttu is a childlike person, and Jhana is a humans or men, people who doesn't know anything. Nothing he knows, he just know eat, sleep, go here, there, do whatever he's doing, and that's it. Whereas when he comes to some absorptions, there are many ways of absorbing. Like there is Kriya Yoga, then there is yoga as yoga, there is yoga sciences, then there are many different traditions, many different ways of praying, many different way of meditating, and all of that gives you a temporary hold on the sensuality. They block the sensuality. Let's take an example. I want to do Sri Sri Ravi Shankar's course, basic meditation and advanced meditation course. And I do Soham, in breath so, out breath hum. One second. Okay, so then uh, what happens? I do that soham. For that time, there are no thoughts of sensuality. So I block it and I keep on doing it. It can be with Jesus Christ also. I look at the statue of the Jesus and I keep on watching it, even with Buddha statue, even with any statues. Why only Jesus? It can be anything. I see the cross, I go to the mosque, I go to temple, I go to even monastery, and I keep on watching Buddha. And I keep on reciting Iti Piso Bhagava Arham like that. And I'm a Buddhist, let's say, and I do that. I'm a Hindu, I do whatever. I'm a Christian or whatever it is. For that time, there is suppression. And when there is suppression, you get into jhanas. Same piti will arise, same sukha will arise, all that will arise. Why anariya? Why not ariya? It's circling. Re means is a circle. Unari means not to circle. It's actually circling completely, and ari is to cut. That re is cut. Ariya. So basically, you're cutting the circling. Okay. And hence, Buddha's teaching is more to do with development, mental development, as opposed to concentration. Okay. It's bhavana more than anything else. So, by making the mind not associate with anything, what Buddha has done is that he has cut the tendency of the mind to latch on to something. So if I were to look at the Buddha statue and I believe that is Buddha and I keep on watching it, praying it, doing something with it, the mind is attached to that object. So any object I attach to it or I latch onto it becomes an experience. So for that time, for that moment, let's say I go to Bodh Gaya, I get piti and sukha for sure because I've been meditating on that Bodh Gaya visit for a long time. Let's say I do a Buddhist circuit from Varanasi to Sarnath to all of that till Kapilavattu. You ask the person who is doing it, he believes really he's doing for sure. And they would spend money, they would spend time, then they would really cry, they would do everything because in their mind they are seeing the Buddha, which is anariya. You're going to circle. How? If you finish this and come back, next time again you'll go. You will never be able to complete or be happy with what you have done. It'll again ask you to do it. So it is circling. It becomes samsarana, not nissarana. Nissarana means cutting off the circling. Sarana is to go around. Samsarana means completely going around and round and round, and then nissarana is to cut that. And hence, jhanas are two kinds. One is Arya jhana, which is what we are doing, or we should be doing, reflecting on the exact way of placing things. Or another one is Anarya jhana, where you start by suppression or reconditioning it. What do you mean by reconditioning? I go somewhere and I don't give any chance for sensuality to come. Say I go somewhere for 100 days and I don't speak for 100 days. For 100 days, it'll be very nice. But the moment I start talking, it breaks. Doesn't work. Now, next time I want to do 1,000 days. And that is anariya. Because that one didn't work, now I'm making it more. Becomes anariyo, anatto. So this is exactly what is there in the Dhammacakka Pavattana Sutta, the Attakila Matana Yoga. Is you keep on doing this. Dukkho, Anariyo, Anatta Samhito. Why dukkha? Because now you're extending the time. You're not happy with that 100 days thing. Now you want to have a 1,000-day thing. If you are able to sit on a cushion for 1 hour, you would like to make it 2 hours. Then you would like to make it 4 hours. Then you like to make it 6 hours and 10 hours, like that, which is anariya. And you force it. I have to sit. So you're basically saying that I don't care about anicca nature. I am believing in nicca nature. Because the sukha I am going to get if I sit on that cushion. So I will do anything to do that, which is anariyo, anatta samhito. Anatta means useless. There's no artha, meaning there's no sense of doing it. Okay, so we need to come to the Dhamma to do it in a proper way. And what's proper is when it is effortless. And that's all what it is. That's what we studied yesterday in the Jhānas Sutta. Sorry, not the Jhāna Sutta, the Silavanta Sutta in Anguttara Nikaya. The jhanas should be established without effort, without any kind of mental agitation, and as many times as you wish. I think that's it. All the questions which I had. Yes, Sham.
So quite a lot of questions.
Go
So
ahead.
the first one. So when I first came to Buddha Dhamma, I followed Ajahn Brahm. So his way of entering jhana is through a nimitta, and you get absorbed into it. And it's sounds really good. I think it's very hard to accomplish as well. Could you talk more about? I have not experienced something like a bright light and getting absorbed into it, but some people have experienced those kind of absorption jhanas. It's also Vishuddhimagga, but could you talk more about that?
Yes, it is Vishuddhimagga. Vishuddhimagga has many aspects to it. There is that Kanika Samadhi. After that, you have Upachara Samadhi, access concentration. And this is part of access concentration. Even PAOK tradition has this. They expect you to get light. If you don't get light and you don't get absorbed in the light, that means you're doing something wrong. Because there is nimitta, right? A symbol. And Buddha says animitta, and we use nimitta. It's like the teacher says one thing and the student does another thing. Okay, for whatever reason, I am not supposed to do any nimitta at all. Yes, it's absorption into the nimitta made. Okay, so there are two kinds of samadhi which is copied by Buddha Gosa. It's asampragnata samadhi and sampragnata samadhi. And in Pali, it is sampajanana, asampajanana. Okay, now let's go deeper into it. What sampragnata and asampragnata? Pragnata means being aware of the obstacle which comes in your way if you make symbolization. Asampragnata means which you have symbol, some symbol. Even the light is a symbol. You should see light is an impression, a nimitta. The moment you create nimitta, it becomes anariya. Let's take another example. And that's the reason Goenkaji doesn't approach it with, you don't find Buddha statue or anything in a retreats, because he goes by the other thing what Lady Sayadaw has mentioned, not to create symbols. And PAOK took the symbolization because they took Visuddhimagga incomplete. Actually, Ubakin's technique is 60-70% Visuddhimagga, whereas our tradition is 100% Visuddhimagga. There's no thing, it's just copy paste of Visuddhimagga. And majority of the ajans, including Dutanga, is from Visuddhimagga. It's got nothing to do with Buddha at all. So Visuddhimagga, when it came by Buddha Gosa, the Sri Lankan, it actually happened in Sri Lanka, Anuradhapura, and then since it went to Myanmar, also went into Cambodia and Thailand. These monks took it to be the actual teaching of the Buddha, because the commentary he has given is for every sutta, every Nikayas, you will find Buddha Gosa's commentary. So they felt that there's no need for going through these Nikayas. It's better that we go only through Visuddhimagga. And that's how Visuddhimagga became the most authoritative text in Theravada. So if you are a Theravada person, Visuddhimagga is next to you. There's nothing like you can say, I don't want to touch the commentary. In fact, commentary is itself treated as the key element in Buddha Dhamma. Okay, so for you and me, we have to keep the commentary side and then go by what Buddha says rather than what Buddha Gosa says. Even though his name starts with Buddha, but he is not to be mistaken and said that, oh, this is what I need to do. So basically, to initially begin with it, the Upachara Samadhi and Apana Samadhi is when you see the light. Now, why this thing happened? Because in the Samanya Pala Sutta, Buddha talks about light. So what Buddha Gosa did is that it is mandatory that you should get light. You should get this nimitta. And Buddha never talked about nimitta. But he made it as nimitta, because without nimitta, how can you get it? His question in Visuddhimagga, if you read it, he asked this question. If there were no nimitta, how do you know the light has appeared? So there would be some nimitta. So he has indicated that Puranika means old. They might have said something which I don't know. And another advantage of Buddha Gosa is that he has written that entirely in Pali. And he has added his own meaning, texture to everything. In fact, if you read his exposition on Nibbana, you literally laugh from what Buddha says versus what he says. He says it is achieving Nibbana. Meaning you will achieve Nibbana. That means it's some object, like you go and achieve it, you take it. Even though MN1 says that you can't achieve Nibbana, you can't manyana to make it. You can't make Nibbana. It's not making it. Anyway, so there's subtle differences between what Buddha Gosa says and what Buddha says. It's better that we go by what Buddha says than what Buddha Gosa says. And all Theravadin countries, that is Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, part of Vietnam, they follow both Mahayana and this one, Theravada. Sri Lanka is a major, and Myanmar. That's completely Buddha Gosa.
So, follow-up questions. So this clears it up. And there's in the online community, there's a lot of conflict called Jhana wars. People just fight over what is Jhana and what is not. So this clears things up. So how do we identify, as in, how do we, like, certain people switch through Jhana 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, that's how Buddha came Parinibbana, but just shifting from till the end and then cessation and permanent extinguishment. So there are people who say you can switch from Jhana 1 to 4 within seconds, like you switch gears. I don't know if that's possible. And for me personally, I've not been able to distinguish jhanas, maybe because I'm not expert in it or I'm not that skilled enough when it comes to jhanas. So would you talk about it?
Yeah, it is like this. Have you learned driving? So are you able to put the gears without knowing the gears?
No.
No?
No, I should. Yeah, true.
You've not even seen which gear it is. Like if you are having a manual transmission as opposed to an automatic transmission, you will change gears, right? Do you really see like this when you're putting gears and while you're driving, or just seamless?
Yeah, after a point, it's seamless. Initially,
Yes, same way. So it goes like this. If in the mind you have established the four Rupa Jhanas, you can make up in the mind saying that I need to be in four. While you're at one, it goes to four, skipping two and three. Just like you're on the road and then you are on the second gear. Let's say you can't be doing this on the first gear, but assume that in second gear, can you not put the fourth gear instead of going to third gear? Or can't you down go for a overdrive, which is a fifth gear or sixth gear? You can put, right? In the same way. But since I don't know, it becomes overwhelming. That is, when I'm driving the car and I'm learning to drive the car, they teach me A, B, C, accelerator, brake, and clutch. And in Western countries, and even now in India, you can get manual and automatic, but in Western countries, there's nothing called as manual transmission anymore. So they have D and N and all that. But we are poor guys, and then we drive this kind of manual transmission thing. So the poor guys, what will he do? Is that he's sitting on the steering wheel. He has not got sati, correct? Let's really understand what this happens and this happens. Sati is not there day one of his teaching or learning, and then he sits in the car. Is he confident? No. And the trainer sitting next to him has all the functions. He has a ABC. Then he says, "Don't worry, sir. I will maneuver your car. Just hold on the steering wheel." And he's sitting like this. He's tight. Body is literally tight. And the trainer is saying, "Sir, relax. Nothing's going to happen." No, no, no. And he's honking. With in India, without honking, you can't drive. So from day one, he is asked to honk. And in fact, more than holding the steering, he's honking. This is the noise. Right? So you will not get into the jhana because of this noise, this hindrance at present. Day two of his learning, slightly shoulder is relaxed because yesterday he is driven, he is not putting like this, slightly relaxed, and his face is not peeping out like this. He can at least sit on his seat. He's not sweating. He is full AC, but he's sweating because he fears he might cause an accident. Then that fellow will say, "Sir, let's put on the gear." He says, "Don't sit down, you see front. I will show you how to put the gear." Oh no, this is first gear. Okay, first. "Sir, I'm not seeing." Don't have to see. This is first gear. This is second gear. This is third gear. This is fourth gear. Is he seeing there? No. He doesn't know whether he's in first gear. He doesn't know he's in second gear. He doesn't know he's in third gear. He doesn't know he's in the fourth gear also, top gear. Right? So he doesn't know. By the fifth day, sixth day of his 10-day course, he is putting the gear without making the sound. That sound is not coming. He's smoothly putting the gear. Then after a month, he has to sometime remember about the gear. After 1 year, after 5 years, it's just second to his nature. He can now converse with the next person sitting there while he's driving the car. So his awareness, has it increased or reduced? It has increased. And he not only can say the rear view mirror, and in India nowadays people are fortunately using their other two side mirrors. Otherwise they used to fold it and keep it because people would jump into it and break that. So they used to fold it. Now they are opening it up, fortunately. So now not only the rear view mirror, he can see both the mirrors and also talk to his next person who is sitting there, also listen to the music, right? And also change air conditioners, also change everything, right? He can do anything and everything. And he can decide when to put the second gear, when to put the third gear, when he can put the fourth gear, and he can remember everything. And that's exactly is apanna samadhi. Okay, got it. So,
one more question.
yes.
If you're done.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
Uh, I think, yeah. So the Anarya and Aryajana. So in a very short way, Jhana is more of a conscious, active effort. You need to be in a retreat. You need to have these conditions, and then you sit, and then you kind of get it absorbed into Jhana, which is very artificial feel to it. And the Aryajana is more of a effortless. You just set the conditions, and then you just chill. Jhanas basically. And
Exactly.
is it possible to function in a jhana, as in, let's say I'm in third jhana, and can I go about my daily activities?
That doesn't hurt you.
Does the pleasure overwhelm me such that I don't feel like interested? This is too.
No,
rather-
let me explain to you.
Yeah.
There won't be any lag in your normal working. You will be, in fact, more interested in your normal working. Let me give another example. When I was there with Bobby in April, last April, and he had given me, I mean, his wife had given me the car to drive, and he doesn't like driving. So he used to sit in the back or he used to sit next to me, and I used to drive. I have no problem in driving. I don't feel exhausted of driving or sitting or standing or walking or going anywhere, because I always try to stay in the second jhana, which is joy. There's no thing called as tiredness. And I don't feel that I shouldn't be doing this. Not today. I think I'll do it tomorrow. Nothing like that. So it can be any work, including office work. Unfortunately, my ex manager is not here in this call. Otherwise, she would have told you that I don't have anything called as procrastination to tomorrow. I can do it right now. If this call ends and then let's say I was supposed to join a meeting at 10 o'clock, which was the starting time of my work, and then I would have shifted from this to that. I started working, no distractions. And I'll go into the coding or whatever I'm supposed to do, and understanding the team, understanding where we are on the product and what can be done, etc., or the process or whatever I was working with. It is seamless. I don't feel overwhelmed. And once I swipe out of the office, that's it, done. And I don't get any ideas on office. I would have completed everything and out. And same thing with anything, for driving or walking or eating or wherever, whatever I do. So it doesn't change.
Yeah. So this is really like suitable with lay life basically.
Yeah, yeah.
The other one, you just need to sit for a long time, like avoid your responsibilities and try to get
Yes.
into jhana. This is like perfect. I think this should be more popular than the other ones.
Yeah, because you are supposed to be functional. It's actually we have become dysfunctional. You created an artificiality and then say that, oh, okay, you know what? I need to go there and do what? It's just like somebody saying, I want to go and sit on the toilet seat and do what? It's not going to do anything other than what you are supposed to be doing. So every day you're going and sitting in the toilet seat. But it's a natural progression. Dhamma is a natural thing. It's not something artificially created. To begin with, just like the car, I need to go to Vipassana Institute to learn how to sit and meditate. Yes, that is required. But that's not the end of it. Or Ajahn Brahm, what you did. That's fine. Whether you go to this institute or that institute or that institute or that institute, ultimately you have to function in the life. You can't be dysfunctional. So basically, in these number of years, Sham, I have not felt a single day that it's too much. maybe Bobby can say, because I stayed at his home and Ari also, I stayed with him. Maybe they can tell me if I felt a single day at all tired of a thing. It's too much. In fact, when I was there with Bobby, I had brought my office laptop also in Australia. Okay, there was some pending thing, and they said you have to carry this and go. We can't give you leave so many. I said no problem, I'll work. And I from with Bobby's home I used to work. It never worked. What do you think, Bobby?
Yes, it is very true, Abhilashi. I used to feel a little jealous about it in a positive way. That
That's
you
okay.
seems to be always relaxed and happy and energetic. You have all these good qualities.
Yeah, so that's what jhana is. It's not about sitting closed eyes and lost forever.
So one final question. Like I've noticed certain people are very good at jhanas. Like in the community, in the few people I've talked to and interacted with and so on online, some people are like seems gifted to enter jhanas. Is it something like to do with their faculties, or and some people find very struggle with basic piti sukha and piti at least. Yeah.
In fact, yesterday I shared one sutta to Bobby to his enlightenment, that you can do the jhaika route and you don't have to do the jhaika route, and both are valid. Meaning you can be on wisdom. In that case, you don't feel like doing this jhanic stuff. You will do the jhana in panya, in wisdom itself. That means you don't have to sit anywhere or do anything extraordinary to do something. So, in that, the people split into two parts. One set of people fight with another set of people, saying that these people are only talking dhamma, but they don't sit and do this. And these set of people say that they're wasting their time and just sit there and sit there and sit there forever. They don't know what they're doing. And then Buddha says, this is also valid. That is also valid. If you're seeing them, you should appreciate them that they're doing so much and they're able to learn from the jhanas. And if they see you, they should say that, oh, these people don't have to do anything. They can get it without sitting or doing anything. They get it. They get the Dhamma. Both are possibilities. Always we believe there's only one way. I've been telling Bobby, there are no one way, there are two ways. This problem has come because of Visuddhi Magga again, where the explanation of Ekayano Ayam Bhikkave Maggo. So they have translated it as one way. Because Ekayano means one way. Instead of people understanding this is the way for liberation in Satipatthana. If there is a way of liberation, this is the way in four parts: Kaya Anupassana, Vedana Anupassana, Chitta Anupassana, and Dhamma Anupassana. When you do the four Anupassana, not Vipassana, the four Anupassana, you get released from samsara. But because of that word, Ekaya no ayam bhikkave maggo sattanam visuddhiya, people feel that it's one way. That is, sit in the cushion and burn yourself up. And that's the only way. Because it's Ekaya no. And unfortunately, Visuddhi Magga talks about this. So if I'm follower of Buddha Gosa, he's my teacher, I take it. So people who fight on Discord or any other forums you have been watching, they split themselves, they split their hairs. Just what I and Ari used to do it when we were following in Discord. You literally, it's called Discord because there is no concord. You keep on fighting and fighting and fighting, and you bring in Jaisaro or sorry. Sujato. There is also on the Sutta Central, there is a a private discussion group, and there you can see horrible fights. Okay, anyway, because everyone wants to show that what he knows or she knows is the only truth and other things are not. But unfortunately, Buddha Dhamma is so vast, you can see the very broad spectrum. Whatever works for you, keep it. But don't think that this is the only way.
Yeah, the Dharma is for everyone.
Yes, it's not categorized, or it is not
Filtered. Yeah.
not filtered. It is like prejudiced. It's not at all. There's nothing like that.
God.
So yesterday I sent him the sutta. He said, excellent, this is good. So I found that sutta, Jhaika. And there's a real fight in that.
So one last question. So
Yes.
Personally, when did you master jhanas? Like, as in
2018.
1000, would you share the stage as well, as in attainment stage?
Sakadagami or nearing Anagami.
So it has to, like, the karma should actually drop.
Yes, absolutely. That's a must. If you are not even a Sotapanna, you stand upside down, it's not going to happen.
Okay.
So first you should know you're a Sotapanna. Then you should know that your attraction towards sensuality is reduced, because you can't force it. Sham, one worst thing is what we are doing is we are forcing it. We are secluding into forest. And that's the reason it's called forest meditation. Then we are going into Shunyagara, which is Shunyagara meditation, and one in the root of the tree, which is Bodhi tree. So if you look at Sri Lankan tradition, they go onto the Bodhi tree. It's not where you go. It's not where you go. It is how you take care of your mind. If it was physical, we would have actually, that's the reason most of the time I say to people that we are following Jain as opposed to Buddha, because we are more physical people. We want to go physically somewhere. You're putting the body into Shunyagara, you're putting the body into forest, you're putting your body into root of a tree. What will you do by putting your body there? And that is the reason Buddha's teaching is Mano Danda, Vachi Danda, Kaya Danda, and Mahavira's way of teaching is Kaya Danda, Vachi Danda, Mano Danda. I feel what Mahavira says is correct. Actually, we are doing that only in the name of Buddha. It's just like I put a photo of Buddha, but what I follow is something different. So I found in 2018 about Jhānas for myself, that how should I enter with Etan Santam, Etam Panitam. That was a ready reckoner for me to see that, yes, this is what is first jhana, this is second jhana, this is third jhana, this is fourth, this is Arupa jhana 1, that is fifth and sixth and seventh and eighth. And when I did completely by 2019, I was knowing that I've done Anagami stage. I knew it's worked. And then from then onwards, it's been like that until last year.
Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
My just big experience which I'm sharing, because before joining your classes, I also used to sit and meditate. And the way you taught, focusing on the 10 specific things, I noticed that what you are, actually teaching us, I'm experiencing that in my daily life. Thank you so much.
Sure.
And I'm in so much gratitude to you. I can't even express that, because sometimes even small little things, even though uh, it has a very deeper disturbing things, which used to happen uh, in my university department. And I need to come back, sit and contemplate, and then that thought can go. But when I'm noticing that since I joined the way you taught, it takes quickly, sometimes few seconds, and I'll come back and just think, and then it goes away, and I can experience that also.
the the way you are explaining each things which I'm experiencing. That's all. Thank you so much, sir.
Sure, sure. Welcome. Okay, so we are beyond time. Tomorrow we start with Jhānas. Not tomorrow means Monday. Yes, sir, you go ahead.
I had one question from 2 days ago. Hopefully, not too hard to answer, but if
No,
there's time,
shouldn't be. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you talk about this Dhamma by Buddha is about unconditioning things, so it can happen anywhere. Whereas Goenka has to be a conditioned environment where it happens, right? But I'm thinking, since on the other hand, you used to say that the first time you can close the sense doors, you can be Sotapanna, then Sakadagami, and all that. Right. So in the Goenka case, the first case is a conditioned environment, and you can achieve Sotapanna there.
Yes, but just like if you look at Shaniel, after he achieved the Sotapanna and then he started looking at other things and then got into Sakadagami, he knew he is a Sakadagami. And then again, the sixth sense doors closed. It was not in that meditation hall.
I guess my question is, why can't you be in conditioned environment and have it happen twice and third? I guess it's just by the nature of the mind.
No, it's like this. If you did what you did in the retreat, if you can exactly replicate that at your home, then it's absolutely done.
But the question is, what exclude the conditioned environment for it to happen the second time?
Because you are not interacting with the world outside. That's a secluded environment, right? So now you're secluded. You're outside, but you don't know how to include and yet seclude.
So you're trying to escape your homework.
Exactly. Now what I'm doing is I'm sitting in one corner and people are giving me food. There is shelter. Don't have to deal with anything. There is no sexuality of men and women. They're separated out. So even if I do a 10-day course or even a 100-day course, that's conditioned. But when I come back home, I am instantly pulled by wife and children and house and responsibilities. I had to go to the grocery store. I had to do this. I had to do that. I had to go to office. I had to blah, blah, blah. So now in my mind, it's going everywhere apart from what I was doing. So now I feel cut off between what I was doing and what I am doing now. So I keep on cursing that I shouldn't have been here. I should have been there. I know I can't be sitting there. So I keep on doing this. So now my respite is sitting 1 hour in the morning, sitting 1 hour in the evening. That's the only thing I can do. But Dhamma is 24/7. So I need to exactly have the same environment which was there in the retreat happening here. Then it works.
Otherwise, when you're in there, you don't give the condition for the defilement to come up.
Exactly. See, what's the same thing between me and Bobby? We speak. Let's say. And Shaniel says, so we are sitting. No defilement will come. And let's say in that retreat, we all agree that I shouldn't be seeing Bobby. Bobby should be seeing me. And Bobby will go one way and I will go another way. What defilement will come? Only if Bobby meets Vilas. Or Vilas meets Bobby and they start talking, then the defilements comes. Isn't that conditioned? Right? So what we did, we took mobile phones from you. Is that a good way of doing? No. Just to make it work, we did it. Right? Otherwise, you have put so much money, came all the way from US to Australia. So we did do this. But actually, it should have been done without the need of doing any one of this. Yes.
Yeah, I think I understand that. And I was under the impression that if you're sitting and try to get into jhana, then these defilements will come up to a certain extent from the subconscious, but not fully, so that everything will come to be removed. And that's
jhana takes these defilements out, provided you bring in the right conditions to it, meaning the defilement you allow the defilements to come. But if you block the defilements, you're suppressing them. If you suppress them, nothing will come.
And last thing, I guess in the Buddha's time, even these monks can be in the retreat and achieve arahat because they know how to bring up those in the mind.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
mm.
And one other thing we think is that when the Buddha says go here and do it, we just look at that and say they never came back. No, it's not like that. They are under the custody of the senior teachers, right? And they guide them. They are there with them. We have to do the daily chores and everything. That's exactly what Ajahn Mun developed to Ajahn Chah and others, that you have to do the daily chores. You can't escape that. So you have to physically do a lot of activities. And in that, you should do it, which is the right way of doing it. It's not about sitting in one corner and then say that I don't know you, I'm sitting here for meditation and you do whatever you want. No. You have to share the workload.
Okay, thank you for
Sure.
explaining.
Yes, Bobby.
I think it's already 2:43, but it is about the same subject, So that's why I thought, like yesterday, what sutta you shared with me. This monks who are practicing jhana, criticizing the monks who are practicing the vipassana, the meditation, the panya side, and they criticize each other. But it's interesting that paragraph, what they are saying, like, we practice discernment principles, but they are restless, insolent, fickle, scurrilous, too stunned, unmindful, lacking situational awareness and immersion, with straying minds and undisciplined faculties. So this is the English translation. So I just want to know whether what they are saying is correct, because this is a criticism of people who are practicing jhanas, only on this Cheto Vimutti side. That's what I understand.
I got it. So shall we take it tomorrow on Monday?
On Monday, yes, we can take it.
I want to take this sutta before we move into the jhanas.
Yeah, I think it is a clear distinction we can understand between these two practices.
Yes. I will do that on Monday for sure.
Okay.
All right. Good day and good night and good afternoon. Bye.
Thank you, Vilashi.
Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye.